Introducing the fundamental interrelationships model, describing Newton's 3 laws of motion. First law: an object will remain in its current state with balanced external force. The upper curved line represents the driving force. The lower line represents the resistance. Without unbalanced external force, the object will remain in its current state, either at rest or moving at a constant speed. This is represented as the horizontal straight red line in the model. In a Cartesian coordinate system, this horizontal line is consistent with the first law of Newton's motion. Second law: when the forces become unbalanced, an object will change its direction and speed. In this model, it is expressed as an ascending straight line. This ascending straight line in a Cartesian coordinate system represents F equals ma, which is Newton's second law of motion. The third law states that for every action in nature, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The first law of thermodynamics. In this model, different colors represent different forms of energy. The identical size of these units represent that the amount of energy is invariant after transforming from one form to another. This is consistent with the law of conservation of energy, the first law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy of an isolated system can never decrease over time. This model represents the level of disorder increase over time. The third law of thermodynamics. As its temperature approaches absolute zero, entropy of a system approaches a constant value. The 0th law of thermodynamics. If two thermodynamic systems, each are in thermal equilibrium with the third one, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. In this model, A is symmetrical to A prime is symmetrical to E prime, A is symmetrical to E prime. These are consistent with the 0th law of thermodynamics. Einstein's special relativity. Einstein's theory of special relativity states that when space expands, time contracts. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that the more precisely a particle's position is measured, the less precisely its momentum can be known, and vice versa. Phase transition. This model represents a set of fundamental interrelationships. The left side represents the state before phase transition. The right side represents the state after phase transition. C represents the critical point. For example, ice exists in solid form. When temperature reaches the critical point of 0 Celsius degrees, it transforms into its liquid form, water. This model not only represents lifeless events but intelligence-driven civilization. For example, when engaged men and women say "I do" in a wedding, they go through a critical point and become a married couple. When university students receive their graduation certificate at their graduation ceremony, they go through the critical point and become qualified professionals. Similarity. This model represents similarity. If two parallel existences are based on a common mechanism, they display similarity. E1 and E2 are parallel and are based on a common mechanism, C. They display similarities. The distance between E1 and E2 represents commonality and difference. The closer the distance, the more commonality and less difference. For example, twins have similarities because they are parallel and based on the same copy of genes. The human body consists of multiple cells. Society consists of multiple human individuals. They are two parallel existences based on a common mechanism. The common mechanism for all organizations. That is why the human immune system is similar to society's defense system. The neural system is similar to administration systems. The endocrine system is similar to the financial system. Hormones are similar to currency, and endocrine glands are similar to financial institutions such as banks. An ice cube consists of multiple water molecules. Its melting is a phase transition due to the increased power of individual molecules. In the process of civilization, an individual's power increases due to the use of tools. They all base on the common mechanism, individual power increase. Therefore, these processes display amazing similarities. That is why ice melting can be used to analyze civilization. For more detailed information, you can download a copy of the book Behind Civilization from Amazon.com or search with Google on the internet.